Finally, I think I did it. Let me see. Let me see if I did this right. Man, it is a dead night. What's today? Wednesday? Wednesdays are not good days. Share screen. Let's see. for those of you that are on here, I just went live. I've got a little bit of work to do right now. But feel free to ask any questions you may have. We closed on one property today. It was supposed to be two, but it looks like we're going to have to do an extended contract on that one, or an amendment, and close that one on Monday, it looks like now. Some of these lenders, man, the traditional lenders, they just don't, some of them just don't do what they're supposed to do. But closed on one property today. Hopefully closing the other one on Monday. I closed on one yesterday. It was on a lot that I bought. Oh man, I know what it is. $63. So basically, what I'm doing right now is looking at my spreadsheet that I had made, put all the numbers in to see what my actual net profit was. Because no matter what, the check that you get from title when you close and sell the property is not the actual true number, and it's not the actual net profit that you made, right? There's a lot of factors that come into play. One being that if you spent over on the budget. Hey, I'm on the computer right now. I'm on TikTok right now.
Okay, well, you need to come help with the groceries.
All right, hold on 1 second.
There's 2 minutes.
So it looks like I will be right back. Let me see. Bam. Anyways, I'm back. Beats by Surge. Man, you on here? It was nice meeting you today, man. I'm sorry, man. I had to jump out of there so quickly, but man, I barely made it to the title company. And I think I made it there like 3 minutes late. But definitely want to catch up with you, man, and I hope that you uh, come out December 3rd, 6:30, and we can definitely talk more. You have my number, so you can definitely give me a call. And I'd like to, talk to you too about, you know, doing some more business maybe together or, something like that. So just let me know, shoot me a text or something. And I did send you the link for the Eventbrite. But overall, what'd you think about it? What'd you think about that build that we're doing there? I wish I could have had a chance to show you the other ones, but um, we'll be starting 2 more next week. So I'll definitely show you those 2. And we've got 3 flips going on right now. So um, I can show you those. And then I guess we're supposed to close on another one. What? Tomorrow.
Tomorrow or 2 weeks, I think, from what the lender has, from what I was told.
Really?
I was
that
told
long?
I was told the 17th, so you need to look into that. I don't know why it was pushed.
Yeah, thanks, Serge. It is. There's some changes definitely that we need to make, but I think it came out pretty nice. This is my wife here, so she's the one that chose all of the stuff inside. All the cosmetic stuff, the tile, the countertops, the cabinets, and all of that. So Serge got a chance to come by today and see the
Nice.
duplex.
Yeah,
Sunday.
so I take that way more serious. I actually go to Floor and Decor and spend hours there trying to put things together and coordinate. That's not what he cares to do. Right?
I don't give a damn.
I love
it. If it was up to me, I'd put the cheapest shit in there. But that's just me. Still make it look nice, but I definitely wouldn't have spent that much money. We probably spent double the amount on the ceramic tile, and we probably spent double the amount on the brown cabinets on the lowers.
Yeah, so I was trying to go with something different because everything's black and white, and we were trying to get a different audience or buyers, more, but to be honest with you, I go into a lot of the new construction homes and I just copy what they do. Why reinvent the wheel when they've done the work and paid the designers to do it, right? See, I told you the brown color is nice. I wanted to do the uppers and lowers two different colors. Thought it was nice looking.
And we still need to paint behind the island or the island black. So
yeah. I wanted the black behind the island to match the pendant lights that were going to go on top of the island. So everything is coordinated. Somehow I incorporate the colors together to make it work.
Mm-hmm. It's a dead night tonight. It's Wednesday.
You know what though? I was on earlier today and it was like crazy. So during the day it's like super busy.
Hey, thanks for the likes, man. Was it?
Mm-hmm.
It's weird. Sometimes I get on here and there's like 50 people, and then other times there's like none. Mm-hmm. I think there's certain days and times that,
Yeah.
And this one I'm still trying to figure out.
What? Oh, okay.
I mean, it's live on YouTube right now, but I don't know why. I had somebody say something like the other day that they couldn't hear me.
I've always wondered about these. Those.
What? The invites?
To talk?
Yeah.
So wait, is Sergio like? I'm trying to remember.
Yeah. do this. Can I give details on the Zoom calls you're going to host? Yes. So the Zoom calls are going to be weekly Zoom meets, and they can go from an hour to maybe even a couple of hours. It's going to be once a week. And that's going to be a little bit more intense and advanced teaching. And it's where, we go really into detail into, evaluating your deals and just basically giving you my thoughts on certain things that I think that you should do when flipping houses. I teach you everything from how to find the properties to negotiating the properties, to the contractors and flipping the house and selling the house and going through inspections and appraisals and everything. I go over just about everything in that in those Zoom meets. There will be a monthly fee, which I'll explain December 3rd. And it's more or less, I mean, you have me pretty much almost one-on-one. So those Zoom meets are specifically for people that want to take it to another level. And it's not going to be expensive. It's not going to cost you thousands and thousands of dollars. It's definitely going to be worth it. It's basically where we have a lot of time, and I'll be able to answer almost everything, almost all of your questions that you may or may have. So that's what that's going to be. The monthly meetups is basically going to be a little bit different. That's going to be the first Wednesday of every month. It's going to be in and around Houston. I'm having the first one actually in my neighborhood clubhouse. I'm not, afraid to show people, where I live. It's not, and to me, you probably won't see that ever, but I have nothing to hide from anybody, and we're gonna do the first one there. So that's going to be more or less just general kind of questions. Won't be able to get into a lot of detail. Right now, it's about halfway full right now for December 3rd. I'm sure that it's going to fill up. I only wanted to have 50 people max at the clubhouse, even though we're allowed to have 100. I think it's 100 or 125, but I only wanted to do it for 50. If it fills up like within the next week or so, then I might raise it a little bit, maybe to 60 or 75. But that one is going to be more or less just general, right? Meet and greet, networking. I'm going to bring in people from title companies that we work with. I'm going to bring in some contractors to talk about, some questions that people might have. I'm going to bring in hard money lenders that I've worked with. Maybe one month, maybe an insurance or an inspector. I'm really open on those. I expect everyone to kind of put in what they would like to see and hear more of. And then I want to grow the club. I want to grow the club to specifically flipping houses. So ever since I got into this business, everyone wants to flip houses. I don't know if it was HGTV. I don't know what did it, but everybody wants to do, what we do. And there's a lot of courses out there on wholesaling. There's a lot of courses out there on creative wholesaling, or financing, or stuff like that, like sub twos and seller finance and novations and stuff like that. But there's not a lot of people out there teaching actual flipping, and from someone that's actually flipping houses. A lot of these courses out there, and I'm not bashing any one specific course, but we do know of a lot of other people out there that are teaching flipping, but they're not actually flipping houses. So um, I'm more than willing to invite some people out that are in the club, that join the club, that those Zoom meets, um, to any one of our flips and go over whatever we need to go over with them to get them more comfortable in doing it. And once they start, like I said, this is going to be an exclusive club for members on the Zoom meets. And basically, you have me pretty much almost all the time. So that's what that is. Hopefully, that answered your question. I know I kind of rambled a little bit, but hopefully, that answered your question. And Beats by Surge, man, I hope you do come out. And if there's anything that you want to know, just ask. I know you had a question today earlier, and I said, man, that's a good question to bring up, December 3rd, if you can come out, that way I can answer it in front of everyone, and, everyone can kind of learn. The idea is to spread the knowledge, right? Because I know eventually it'll come back to me, and it's did that already, just with the few partners that I brought in, and I'm bringing in another partner. And what I was able to do was teach them the business, and then now we're partnering on deals, which in turn, we all make more money. So I'm hoping to kind of spread it that way instead of just charging people, $10,000 for a course that you got to watch a shit ton of videos. I hate that. I did pay for something. I won't mention the name of it, but I did pay $10,000 for an actual course. It wasn't on flipping houses. It wasn't really. It has to do with real estate, but I paid $10,000 for a bunch of pre-made videos, and that's the one thing that I hate. If I had known that it was going to be that way, and I actually asked the question before I bought this course, and they kind of, no, it wasn't Grant Cardone, but man, he's definitely another one that, he's making millions off his videos, and more power to him. But that's not the kind of learner that I am. I don't feel that that's the best way to learn. I feel like the best way to learn is to be in front of somebody, or have that personal relationship with them. And because you're going to watch a video for 30 minutes, and maybe most of it, maybe you don't, and maybe you learn 1-2 things out of that 30-minute video. Well, this is more or less what I believe is, if you have a question at that time because you need help at that time, then it can be answered right away. But I did waste my money. I wouldn't say waste. I'm a lifetime member of this group, but yeah, I probably could have saved the 10 grand and went on a luxurious vacation or something, really, to be honest. So in my club, you're going to be able to ask the questions. You're going to be able to actually learn. We're going to talk about everything there is to know about flipping houses, and some parts about building. I talked to Joe. He said order some cabinets I can order with Rami. Okay. So, But yeah, just to let you know, it was about raising private funds and capital. That's what the course was about. And the owner of the company is great. I have nothing bad to say about them at all. They're great. I have their personal cell phone numbers, which they weren't afraid to share. And they're great people. So I have nothing bad to say about them. It's just the way that the way that they expect people to learn was all of these pre-made videos, and I just can't learn like that. So I see you're live on this one. Wow, that sure looks bright. It's hot right here. I don't know why I feel hot.
The light.
Maybe. Oh, that's not supposed to be in there. So the reason why I got on here was I was looking at something on the spreadsheet right here. And I figured I'll just go live for a few minutes and see what happens. But and this one I can't figure out what's happening. I disconnected it and I got back on, and then the person left. So it was like, I can't hear you. And I was like, okay, let me
We're gonna have to figure
try
that
to
one
fix
out.
it. And then I tried to do that multi-platform, and it still didn't work either. I don't know why I can't get it to work.
Why don't you tell them about the little situation that you posted about our love, what we had in common with so many other landlords.
The eviction?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, today we we did a well, not today, we did it the other day. But we're going through an eviction right now.
Who's that? Oh, working hard. I see Uncle Daniel. This is Zariah, by the way.
What is it?
Your cousin.
Oh, I didn't.
That's why I left it that way.
You can fix that again.
She's saying hi.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Samantha Zavala.
Oh, Samantha.
Samantha, Sam.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know you.
Of course we know you. We just seen your dad, last month?
We might, Cynthia said that they might come over this weekend to her house.
Oh, was that this weekend?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Man, my stomach is...
She said, see you working hard.
Yes, very hard. Always.
So it seemed like what we had in common with a lot of people was the topic of being a landlord.
Yeah. So we went through an eviction today, the other day, and learned something every day in real estate, man. I swear. We've only done a couple of other evictions where we had to evict someone from one of our rentals, and it's never easy to evict someone. But in this case, we had to, even though I tried working with her over and over. I allowed her to make, split payments. I was offering to take the payment down a little bit so that she could stay. All kind of stuff. I gave her plenty of time, and she agreed to some things to make, some sort of payment, and I was willing to keep her in there because I know she's going through hard times and stuff like that. And and I get it. I really do. I understand it, and I've been through it. So I did have a little bit of sympathy for her, and but there comes a point where, you know, I can't afford to raise you. I can't afford to take care of you too, and plus my family, right? And so we're sitting there paying a mortgage for these people, and it got to the point to where she wasn't answering the phone, she wasn't replying. I mean, she wasn't sending in any kind of payment, even $100. I mean, just anything, you know, to let me know that you're trying. And it just wasn't happening, and we just finally had to pull the trigger and evict. So, but we did learn something today. There was a lot of people, pretty well-known people in the industry, kind of told me what I did wrong, which was
The way it needs to be
the way it needs
delivered.
the way that the 3-day letter notice needs to be delivered. And I didn't realize that you're supposed to actually put it in an envelope, put important, and put to and from on the envelope. So I didn't realize that. I didn't know. So now we may have to do it again. I'm not sure. But so yeah, learn something every day in real estate, man. I swear.
Hi, Erica.
Who's that, Erica?
Yeah.
Erica?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, Sam, for liking it. That's really sad. Would you say, wow, that's really sad, but at least you tried your best.
I did try. There's just, you know, I mean, I like to say the words business is business, but at the same time, I felt for them. Beats by Surge, I have 3 tenants. I hope I don't need to go through that or have to go through that. I mean, you know, this particular lady, we have some really good tenants in our other houses, but this particular lady did great for
7 months.
7 months.
Mm-hmm.
Paid on time, even early on a few of those months. Like she paid like a week in advance, and I was like, wow, this is great. And she did have somewhat of a bad credit. It wasn't real bad, no evictions or anything like that, but she put her mom as a co-signer, and her mom had really good credit. So I took him in. She made the money. She qualified for everything else. Did the background checks on them and stuff like that. And she was great for the first 7 months. And then it started becoming to the point where it was late. And she had just signed another contract. Because of her credit, I only gave her a 6-month contract instead of 1 year. So when that 6 months came around, I gave her another contract for 1 year. And then she just started slacking right thereafter. Mm-hmm. I think it was a month later.
Yeah.
So
I mean, a lot of people, what they don't realize is being in real estate, like, you know, I mean, it's a business, right? So when you go into the business, I mean, we have to think about all the expenses and whatnot.
And it was costing us $1,450 a month for that lady just staying there without her paying us anything.
Yeah.
So the longer that we would have held off, I mean, the more money we would have had to dish out for her. So we paid. I have an attorney that just does it for me. I mean, I could do it, but I just don't really want to waste time doing it. So I just paid them to do it. But yeah, hopefully you never do have to go through that. I mean, it's not a good situation. We have another tenant. I think his payments come out like automatic because it's always on like the day before. Yeah. Yeah. He just has it set up that way, and we never hear from that tenant. No. I hardly ever hear from that guy. He's been there for 2 years now, and I never even hear from him. So then there's another one. They just forget to pay on the first. But as soon as I send them a text message, they send it within minutes. So, but they're good tenants too. Do you plan on paying off your rental properties? That's a good question, man. So we have one of them paid off completely, and then 2 of them are not paid off, but we do have equity tied up into them. And then one that we're seller financing, we have a lot of money tied up into that one, or the equity into that one. But that's a good question. So the original plan was to just keep, tenants in there and forever, right? But I think now that we're building, we have a total different way of thinking and goals now. So what we plan on doing, probably more than likely, is we'll sell off all of our rentals, get all of that money, and then we will build, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 duplexes, and just build them all at the same time in one lot, like an acre lot, for instance, or something like that. And that way they're all in the same location, and they'll all be paid off with that money. So not only would we maybe cash flow about the same, if not more, but they'll all be in one location, and they'll all be brand new. So only one of our houses is like a 19, or no, it's a 2003, which is Stonewood, right? I think it's like a 2003 build. And then the other ones are much older. I mean, even though I did replace the AC and the roofs on those and the plumbing and all of that, it's still nothing really compared to like a brand new duplex. So I think that's the way that we're probably going to go. We're probably going to just go ahead and sell all of our rentals. I don't know if it'll be next year or the year after, but eventually we'll end up probably selling them and then just building the duplexes and holding those as rentals. Because if you think about it, I mean, we'll have more equity in those. I mean, for one of the duplexes that we're building right now, that the one that you've seen today, I mean, it's costing us, less than $220,000 or $240,000 to build that, and we have an appraisal on that particular property at $453,000. So we'll have a lot more equity tied up into it, and then we'll also be able to cash flow on those a lot better. And if we paid it off in full from the from the rentals that we sell, then we'll be in a much better position later if we do that now. So yeah, even if we had to build more of them and have a mortgage on them, I mean, even just think about it, just putting $100,000 on each of those, and where we only have, 100 and, just say $130,000, $140,000 in a mortgage. I mean, that's nothing, because each one of those, like each duplex and the areas that we're buying, they rent from $1,700 to $2,000 a month. And if you have two of those and one duplex, I mean, we're still cash flowing over $1,000 a month just from those. So, and that's if we don't take out any cash out. We don't cash out refi on those. So we're still better off if we sell and build new. But yeah, we might keep a few rentals. Every year we want to pick up at least 2 or 3. So I kind of wish we would have started it a long time ago, but I think back then we were just so focused on building capital and surviving that we didn't keep as many as we should have. So many different ways to do stuff in real estate. I know, man, there sure is so many different ways to make money in this business, for sure.
I think that's a lot of reason why we've been able to survive for so long, is really just pivoting and figuring out so many strategies. So there's so many different ways to go about it. There's just not one way.
Yeah.
There's so many routes.
Yeah, we were actually talking about this at the title company today with the I would lean towards new build duplex and cash out refi. Yeah, that's what the plan is, for sure. We were talking about this today, how there's a company called like LMU or something. I can't remember what the company's called. But anyways, a client financed their house, their first time house that they were buying with this particular company. And then like the next day, like they sold off that debt to ShellPoint. And I was like, how the hell do they even make any money, doing it like that? And then it was just like, it becomes a numbers game for them because they get, all the processing fees, they get all of the, the origination points. So they're just busy making, $10,000 or so on each of these houses and then selling that off to like someone like, ShellPoint. So even that, it's a different way of making money in real estate, but I mean, they're doing it and they're doing it on scale too. So, I mean, they're doing 1,000 of these things a day. This company is so big that they're doing like quite a bit, especially here in the Houston area. I mean, just imagine $1,000 customers a day in Texas, at $10,000 a pop, just from the origination and processing fees and all of their other fake fees that they have to do the loan, and then turning it around the next day and selling it off to like someone like ShellPoint or something for longer term. So they're in it for the longer haul, but the even the guys that are in doing it for the short haul, I mean, that's buku money, man. I mean, so many different ways to make money in this business for sure. So many different ways and strategies to go around.
I just
So,
think it's like the lack of mindset of understanding it because we're not taught these things. So it's like having to figure them out as you go, right? Just by hearing other people or
yeah,
trying things out yourself.
yeah. Hey, Freddie, how's it going, man? I hope you're doing good. Do you think it would be a good idea still to focus on fix and flips or new construction? Both, man. I go back and forth with that, like in my head, like all the time. I lose sleep over it because I'm a flipper. I will always see myself as a flipper. I mean, it's what got me to where I am today. And it's made me the most amount of money I've ever made in my life. Um, and I would, I don't know, it's something about flipping that just gets me going, right? One, you get your money really quickly. Um, and I'm talking like, 3 months, right? Some of them have been even faster. Um, you get your money back, right? Because we flip property so quickly, right? So we get our money back like right away. So it's like we're dishing out, 20,000 or whatever it is, or $30,000, and then we're making the money back like in 3 months plus another 30, 40, or 50,000, right? So to me, that's really good money, and it's too hard to pass up. And we come across deals like all the time. So I don't think I'll ever stop flipping, really, to be honest.
I mean, today was a prime example of one we closed on. It was
Yeah.
the numbers were just so great. It's like that
Yeah.
reminds of why we do it.
Yeah, and it's like these kind of days, like we're the one that we're closed that we closed on today. It was just I couldn't refuse it. Like, who would pass up 60? I'm actually have it right here. Who would pass up 63,000? Hold on, why does it do that?
To make sure
Yeah,
you're still
just to
there.
make sure I'm still on. So yeah, I mean, who would pass up $63,000 in net profit, not gross, net? So it's like, why would I stop flipping? But I do love new construction. I really do. I think it's just a lot easier. Um, the process is cleaner. So I'm gonna do both until I get to the point to where I just have so many new builds going on at one time that I just can't keep up and I can't keep flipping unless I automate it or streamline the flipping process, and which I haven't been able to really truly figure out. We flipped 5 at one time before. Right now we're doing 3, but we flipped 5 at one time before, and it was a pain in the ass. Like, it was hard as hell.
Thank you,
Like,
Myra.
I couldn't I mean, as I get older too, man, I can't continue this, So, um, let me see. I work for Myra. Hey, what's up? I work for Shell Point, and boy, do they make money off of these loans they're servicing. I know. It's like it's killing me because it's like, damn, man, like, how do you even get into something like that? You know, I don't know if you just need to like raise like a shit ton of money and start that business and just jump in, or do you have to go to college for business school or something? I have no idea like how they even. I mean, Shell Point, they used to be called something else before Shell Point,
You're
right?
talking about New Res?
New Res, yeah.
New
I think
Res
they used to be New
converted
Res or
into
something, and
Shell
Shell Point,
Point, or they
yeah, or something like
converted,
that.
yeah.
But I mean, you're talking like billions of dollars,
How can I do my comp without
Do I really need
MLS
that?
access? Do I
Oh, okay.
really need that?
So for me, when I first started, I did use another program. Now they're a New Res. Oh, okay,
Oh,
yeah.
okay, so the opposite.
So when I first started, I used to use like, I don't remember what the company was called, but I mean, there's several companies out there that you can run comps with, and you can literally play around. I've done it. I've had to do it like for out of state houses and out of the city houses. I've had to use like Realtor.com and Zillow, but it takes a lot of work to do it. It can be done, but I don't think it's as accurate when you use these other companies out there that give you the comps. It's just not as accurate, since they don't have access. It doesn't give you the actual true sold price that it's sold at. So I don't know. Without MLS access, I'm not saying you can't do it. We used to do it. But now I rely everything on the MLS because
It's the true
it's the
comps.
true comps that are out there. It's not going to give you like this range. It's sold from 180 to 220, because that makes a huge difference. Maybe
RPR?
RPR for comps. I just started using it, and it shows off market closings too. Never heard of that, Myra, but maybe I'll look into that just to know. But Myra, you have MLS access, so I don't know why you're using something else because unless you, I don't know, maybe you just don't like it or something.
Well, she
Running the
says
comps
it
off of there.
shows off market closings too.
Oh, okay. Oh, you have access to it too?
Oh, I do.
RPR?
I need to look into that.
I mean, well, we
then.
get into the matrix and use matrix, but yeah.
Hmm.
I don't know. It's for me. Oh,
Oh,
VNR.
it's through
Oh, okay.
NAR. Okay. Well, I'm gonna look into that then.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that.
You should. But yeah, Freddie, man, the best thing to do, even before Kristen became a realtor, we were using someone else's access. It was a friend of ours. He's an investor / friend of ours. He has his license. I haven't heard from that guy in a little while. I need to call him, see how he's doing. But yeah, he gave us access, and we were using his access for like a year, and then she ended up getting, or a couple years, and then she ended up getting her license. So there was no need for us to use his anymore. But best thing to do, man, is to probably use somebody else's, and then learn how to run comps off of using the matrix and so on the MLS. So yeah, you remember NAR, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
that's
like
what
I found
thought.
out the other day about that other what is it called? I can't think of it, where you can run the searches on people through
Oh, the background checks
the
and stuff.
background checks,
Yeah.
like fast.
Yeah.
Well, that blew my mind right there.
Yeah, it is.
I'm like, wow, I didn't realize realtors have so many, our access to a lot of great resources to help us.
Oh, what was that?
They sometimes ask to be joined to talk live to you.
No, that was something else though. Wasn't it? It was like a join this thing or whatever.
I mean, even so, though, let's be honest, a lot of realtors that have access to it anyway still can't run comps the way investors run their numbers. So that's even with access to it, a lot of them don't know how to use that part of it.
Yeah. And I think it's different for realtors versus realtors / investors. So as a realtor, y'all are looking out the best interests for your client, right? You're trying to get the most amount of money that you can for that client, right? Which you should. I mean, that's your job, right? So you're always going to see more than what we know or what we should be following as a rule for us to sell a property. So what I mean by that is, just say a property it's worth 200,000. We know for sure 100% that it can sell at 200,000. Well, a realtor would say, "Oh, well, this one sold over here for 200,000. I think yours looks nicer, so I'm gonna sell it for 220." And for us, we can't use the 220. We have to go off of the 200. If we get 220, great. That's a bonus, right? But we can't use that. We can't. It has to be able to be supported. So in our business, that number has to be supported. If there wasn't another one that sold at 220, then it's back down to the one that sold at 200. So I'm not saying that it can't sell for more than 200. I'm just saying that, and we've raised the bar several times. We actually just done it again
Today.
for like the 10th time. We've raised the bar for the neighborhood. We sold that property like $10,000 or $5,000 more. Actually, it was more than that, because we already started out a little bit higher. Then we got over asking on it.
You're talking about the one we just closed today?
Today, yeah.
Yeah, so that one we didn't think was going to get appraised.
We didn't think it was going to get appraised.
But it
We
did.
actually wanted them to sign the waiver, so that they would come up with the rest. But anyways, they ended up appraising it, and I'm actually kind of surprised that it got appraised at that much, really, because there was none other properties in that subdivision, even within a half a mile, that supported that comp.
Yeah,
Like,
even
it's
listing it,
weird.
we went above thinking we were still too high.
Yeah. We went in knowing that we were going to test it. We were okay with that. We were okay with waiting and holding it for a little while longer. I think we listed it like $10,000 higher. It should have been somewhere closer to the 265, 270 range. And that was the original plan, to list it at that. But then when we got finished with the house, we were like, damn, this is really nice. We went ahead and listed it to, I don't know, 75 or something. And then we got an offer for 280. Yeah, 280. So we took it. So yeah. What strategy did you use if you didn't really have comparable? What strategy did you use if you didn't really have comparables? Yeah, so I personally do not flip properties that I can't get a comp at least within a half a mile. I just don't do them. I know some other investors that are successful at doing those, like out in like rural areas and places that don't have those comps there to support it. But I just personally don't do it. I've seen some losses on some houses, and from some people that actually know the business. Like they've been in the game for a while, and they took a chance, and I seen them lose. So I personally don't flip properties that I can't get a comp.
We don't buy being desperate, looking for that next deal.
I would rather wait. Yeah, I would rather wait. So to wait for a deal that I can get solid comps. So if you're asking for 250 and the appraisal is 265, that means you get 15K more asking price. No, I mean, hopefully that doesn't happen, right? I mean, I don't think we've been in a situation where we listed it or it says, so if you're asking for 250, oh yeah, we never got in really that situation. Whatever we listed at, I mean, I'm really good at running comps. I'm not bragging or anything like that, but I'm really good at running comps and really evaluating like every single property in the subdivision is what I do. So when I put a number on it, I'm usually like right where the appraisal usually ends up.
Yeah, we have been pretty. I don't think we've ever came across where it's ever been appraised higher
Like
than
higher
what
than what it was.
We've
Yeah.
never been through that.
So, I mean, I guess it's possible. I mean, it may happen, but we've just never been through
I
that.
think the only time that you've kind of, it took a little, how do you say, like, it was something we never went through is the one in Conroe. That one threw you off a little bit.
Well, that one I made a mistake, you know.
Well, explain your mistake on that one. It
My
was a learning lesson.
my mistake was in this particular subdivision, the comps really did support what we listed the property at. It had a pool and everything. I mean, it really did support that. But what I didn't realize was less than a quarter mile away were new builds that were going up
The
in
same
this
price range.
subdivision that were the exact same price range. So they were building them a lot cheaper. So again, when you have a new build, like right there in that general area with the same square footage, same amount of bedrooms and so on, for me personally, I will deduct 20% off. And that it will be my set ARV now, my after repair value. So that's what I do. So I didn't make quite as much money as I should have. We still pulled off like 50 grand out
Yeah,
of
we
that
didn't
thing.
lose.
We definitely didn't lose, but we were actually, it was supposed to be like a really big home run on that one. It was supposed to be like close to like 85, 90 grand on that one. And I only
and we
made
held
50.
it on a little bit longer than expected.
I did. Yeah. Yeah. We held on to that property for like 4 months and I was just pissed. But anyways, you know, so comps is something that's very, very, very important. You just need to do it right. And that's why I'm saying, Freddie, that you really need to get MLS access. You know, you can get sign in from someone, you know, a friend, a family member, whatever. And, you know, as long as you don't go in there and start changing stuff around, you know, you can run the comps. But that's how we did it. I know you're not really supposed to really do that, but yeah, that's what I would do. Instead of going the long route. I mean, you can do it. You can run comps the other ways. I think Propelio and PropStream and
Yeah, they have that.
they
capability.
have a I don't know what happened there.
Nothing.
Oh, okay. They have programs out there, software programs out there that do it for you. But like I said, it's just not very accurate. It's going to give you just general comps and stuff. So, but yeah. And what was it?
You answered all of them.
Oh, okay. But yeah. Anyways, I'm on to is that my cousin on there?
Yeah.
How's the duplex going? Kobe Bean. Man, it's going great, man. We're almost done. We probably have 3 weeks left to go.
Oh, thank you.
Hey, thank you for that. Who did that?
Freddie.
Oh, Freddie. Thank you, man, for that. And yeah.
You actually had a question. What is the average hold for a flip?
The average hold for a flip? So for us, we flip properties extremely quick. we're like, we stack our contractors. They all work really good together, so they don't mind doing it. You just have to build that relationship with your contractors. I'm sure Freddie over here understands this, and he may or may not do that. Where you have electrician and plumber in there in the same time, and everybody's just kind of running around and doing their thing. Some people don't like that. Some people do. Some people don't mind it. My contractors, they all know each other. They all get along. They all, kind of stay out of each other's way. Don't steal shit from each other. I mean, we flip properties in 4 to 6 weeks, and then if it's like full guts, it might take 8 or 10 weeks, right? But the average days that we usually hold a flip is probably less than 90 days. It's less than 90 from the time that we actually close on the property, doing all of the rehab to selling the property, finding a buyer and selling the property and closing on the property is like less than 3 months. Like I'm telling you, we do it really quick. And we always price our properties to sell, not to hold. So if we're holding on to the property, more than likely it's because either, again, like we just did this last one right here, we're testing the market or whatnot, but or it's overpriced, period, because it's never about the way that it looks. We always we don't go all out. We don't put custom shit in our flips, but we do make them nice. I think we do. I mean, I don't know. We don't try to shortchange stuff or anything like that. I mean, if all the sheetrock needs to be replaced, we're going to replace it, right? If there's plumbing issues, we're just going to replace all of the plumbing. We're going to do PEX throughout the whole thing. If it's electrical, we're going to redo the whole thing. We're going to put a new panel box, everything, new breakers. Sometimes, half the time, we'll put new wiring all the way throughout. It's just easier. It's faster. It's better. It looks better. We won't have any issues during inspection. But yeah, less than 90 days for sure. And then, oh yeah, Kobe Bean 24. Sorry about that, man. Yeah, the duplex is going great. We're almost finished, 3 weeks away. We're finally going to start the other 2. And then I have another one that we're going to start. Man, that one was supposed to start like 3 weeks ago and having some issues. But so we're going to be starting 3 more. We got 2 going on one lot, and I'm going to do 1 on another lot, and they're all within the same area in 77088. And, but we should be starting the other one. It's ready to go now. So we just got the approval from the city, the final approval for the permit to go ahead and start building. So we already closed on the property for the construction. We did a construction loan on this one. We already closed on that. We got everything in line. It's literally shovel ready. I just got to get with the contractors tomorrow to see exactly how to line everybody up. So the lot we cleared a long time ago, but it's gotten way out of hand again. So I got to have them go back over there and redo it. But yeah, how much are the holding costs compared to a flip on the new builds? A lot more, right? So on the flips, right, we sell them off fairly quickly, right? The lender that we use is a private lender, and he doesn't care. He just wants us to turn them, right? The more we can do, the more better for him, I guess, is the way he sees it. And I mean, he might get 2 payments out of me, right, which is interest only, right? So just say a couple $1,000s each month. So he's making about 4 or 5 grand, 6 grand maybe off of some total. So on the new construction, I mean, it goes by days elapsed. So, the first draw that we get might be only for, $45,000 dollars, and we're only getting charged interest on the 45,000. Then when we get the second draw of, 50,000, or 60,000, whatever, then we're getting charged on the amount of days on that we had it for the first draw and the amount of days for the second draw, and then the third and fourth and fifth if we're going to use a fifth. So it does cost more. We do have it, obviously. Actually, this duplex that we're about to finish right now in the next 3 weeks is we've had it now for 3.5 months. So it was, I think we looked at it the other day. It was like August 8th. So August, September, October, November. So a little over 3 months now when we actually broke ground. We had it a month before that, but we were busy getting the plans and the permits and everything submitted. So in total, and that was all the soft costs that we had to come out of pocket. So we didn't get reimbursed for that until, a couple of months later. But yeah, we're going to have this property now for, let's say 4 months. And, and then once we find a buyer, however long that takes, let's say 30 to 60 days, and then another 30 to 60 days to close it. I mean, you're looking at like 6 to 8 months of making mortgage payments, right? So, how many partners are you doing this new construction with? So, on this one, on the one single one, it's 2. On the one that's 2 duplexes, it's by 4. And then the one that I'm doing on Lucky Street is by ourselves. So it was it's a deal that we made with them. What about permitting processes? How long does it take and how much? Yeah, so permitting process is, man, it was a pain, but I just hate waiting. I'm so used to flipping. I can get stuff done right away. This was like a waiting game forever, it seemed like.
Hi, Juan.
But it took it took like a month just to get the plans submitted and the permitting done and the impact fees that we had to pay and all of these things. And then we probably paid, let's see, we paid $2,500 for the plans. We made a deal with our designer. So we're going to build 8 of them at $2,500 a pop, right? Originally, if you're going to make plans like we did, yeah, do we hire runners? No, my designer does. He does have the runners. So he does it for us. And I don't know, he pays them so much amount of money or whatnot from what we pay him.
Can you explain what runners are?
So they're the ones that like go get the permitting done and stuff like that. $2,500 cheap. Yeah, it is cheap. It is very cheap. But we agreed when he made these plans for us, it was originally going to cost us like $8,500 or something like that to do all the plans the way that we wanted this particular duplex to be like. But instead of doing that, and I told him we will build 8, of these at $2,500 a pop. But I didn't want to. It's confusing, but anyways, it costed us $2,500 for that. Another like $3,400. I'm talking about for the 2 duplexes. It was $3,400 each duplex for the impact fees. And then what's that? And then we paid like another $2,000, I would say, maybe 2,000, something like that. And then for the rest of the permits, and then the civil side, because we're doing shared driveways on this particular lot. And I'll never use that guy again. I'm sorry. I'm not going to call him out by his name, but I'll never use the survey guy. I mean, not survey, the civil engineer on this one.
Hi, Suwani. Thank you.
It took it took him forever to get him done, man. And he kept making mistake after mistake. But we ended up paying him like $6,500 for the civil side, and still that's still somewhat kind of cheap. And I think I would have rather have paid more money to get them done quicker, because we could have started building on this lot 2 months ago. And
so would you say that because I've talked to other people who flip, and they say new construction is the way they want to go. Would you
Mhm.
say it's for somebody who's flipping? Would you say it's much easier to get into new construction, or is that a
Uh,
whole nother learning process, like learning wholesaling, like learning flipping?
yeah.
I mean, completely different process. That's more,
I
something
mean,
else.
obviously, you have to have a little bit more money to get into the new construction side of things. One being like Kobe being 24 years saying, damn, that's a lot of soft costs up front. It is. It isn't, and it isn't, right? It's a numbers thing. So just think of it like this: you're putting out, let's say 20 grand, right, in soft costs alone. And then plus, you're clearing the lot, you're getting the forms out there, you're doing all these things. These are all soft costs, right? Before, right? That first draw that you get is normally around anywhere from 40 to 55,000, right? So you're getting it back. So, and that's the great thing about the new construction that I thought was pretty cool, right? Um, was I literally thought it was going to cost a lot more money, but um,
So, I mean, so basically, like flipping, you need money up front, and then new construction, you need more money up front.
you need a little bit more money just to have, you still have to pay the contractors. You got to pay for the form
Yeah.
boards to go out there. You got to pay for the plumber
And then it's a little bit longer because once you're going through permitting, that's a longer process than flipping, which you know
yeah,
how that works.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, I mean, it is more money up front, but man, I still, I love building too, but I
To
like
me,
flipping, but it's
to me,
just,
it I mean, flipping's amazing, right? Especially when you first start. I mean, it's scary. It's really scary at first, and then when you do them enough, you're just amazed by turning these old homes into like beautiful, homes again. But to me, new construction, like when you do from ground up, it's just such more of an amazing feeling that you built this from bottom up, and you see the process of it happening, right? And then of course it's a beautiful new modern home, and everything's
yeah.
brand new, and it just
And you're pretty much designing the whole
yeah,
thing. I mean, you can move this or that before it's actually there.
you
And
don't have
flipping,
to
you got to
go
knock it
around
down, then do
walls
it.
or figure out structures or layouts of the property. You can design whatever you choose.
Yeah. And do it right, the first time. I mean, even though there were some changes that we still made during the build, and we found out what else we're going to change after it was built for the next ones. It's still,
There were
it's
small
minor
things
changes.
that you learn as you go.
Yeah, for sure.
Um,
For sure. So yeah, it's, it's, man, I'm still thinking about your question, Freddie, and man, I don't think I'll ever stop flipping. For some odd reason, I feel like I just won't. I'm not going to pass up an opportunity. When I was in the car business, and I don't know if anybody in here that's ever been in the car business, but when you're in the car business, especially the kind of dealership that I worked for, it was a very high volume, I mean, they made number one in the nation. And I'll just tell you, it's Planet Ford. I worked at Planet Ford for 2 or 3 years. And what they teach you there is nobody walks. Everybody is a potential buyer, right? So nobody walks. And the way that they did their system was so perfect. So the salesman would go and try to sell the car. And if they couldn't do it, they would bring in somebody else that has more experience than you do. And if they couldn't do it, the desk manager came out and tried to get you. I mean, y'all all know this game if you've ever went into a dealership and tried to buy a car. The desk manager comes out after that. He's the one that can lower the price and do all these things and, just make the structure of the deal. Um, and then if you're still unsure about buying a vehicle, then the finance manager will come out, if need be, right? and the finance manager and the desk manager, and then we're kind of taught to just shut our mouth at that point if they're there, right? Because they're the ones that can make that deal. They know what's in it. So it's the same way I feel like about flipping houses. Like no deal should go away from my head. Like if there's a deal there to be made, I'm gonna make it happen. So I try to see every house or every potential flip as a deal until it's just a complete no, not gonna do it. So I will still flip. I may not flip as many, but I will definitely still be flipping, and building is kind of, a main focus right now. It has been for the last year, but I just want to get bigger. I want to be able to build 10 at one time, 15 at one time, communities of housing, to eventually build a whole subdivision of rentals. That would be the dream, and that's what we're kind of working towards.
They did do one in Telge. There's a whole community rentals.
Hey, thanks for liking the live too. Yeah, I know. In Cyprus here?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know they did.
That's the dream right there.
Yeah. Eventually is to just build to rent. It's not, we've been focused how many years of just building to sell. It's time to start thinking on the other side now. How much money we need to get into flip, and how much you recommend for new construction. So it depends on the flip. For the new construction, I can tell you. So on the flip side of things, it depends on how deep you can buy the property, right? If you buy the property, let's say deeper than, let's say 70% minus repairs, right? Anything under that 70%, you come less money out of pocket. So back in the day when me and Kristen first started, we were using hard money lenders that I'm not gonna bash them at all. They got me started in this business. So I appreciate what they did for us, even though I wouldn't, it's not taking advantage of us. It's a business, right? We got charged a shit ton of money.
Because we were beginners.
We were beginners, right? For interest charges and points, and then the huge down payment, right? 10%, right? 10 to 15% in that range. So we were coming out of pocket like 30,000, 40,000, 25,000. I mean, it was just ridiculous. Like we can only flip at that time, we could only flip one at a time, right? Because not only did you have to have, 30 grand to close on the property, but you had to have another 10 to 15 grand
The upfront cost of the
for the contractors to pay them, because no contractor wants to wait for their money, right? They want to, as soon as they finish the job, they want their money today, right now. And which I get it. I understand. So you had to have, $30,000 to $50,000 to flip one property. But as I went on and I learned what these lenders were wanting from me and what they required, I learned how to not bring very much money to the table by buying a little bit deeper. So they can play with the numbers just like you can.
So just the basic standard of how much do you think to flip would you need up front?
I mean, if you have 15,000, explain. So if you have $15,000, I mean, you can do a small flip. You can do a small $100,000 flip. No, just amount of money. But if you're doing a $200,000 property, I mean, you want to have, more than 20,000. You want to have 25 or 30 if possible. So in terms of like explaining the amount of money needed for a flip. So for instance, say a lender wants 10%. I mean, now that you have the experience with lenders, yeah. So these lenders, they only do up to 90%. Some of them are only, 85%. I've even seen some that are 80%. So that means you have to bring 20% to cover the remaining of that 100%. You got to come up 20%. I've seen some 20% down payment plus 2 or 3 points, um, in addition to that down payment, plus your closing costs, plus your builder's risk insurance. By the time it was all said and done, you're coming out like $40,000 or $50,000 on a flip, right? But what I'm saying is this: if a particular lender, because the majority of them are 10% plus the points, plus the closing costs, plus the insurance, the majority of them are 10%. If you want to get that 10% down, no matter what, you're paying closing costs no matter what. I mean, you can definitely roll that in too, depending on how deep you buy. But the closing costs and the builder's risk insurance, there's nothing you can do about that. You're going to pay it, right? Which is, just call it a couple $1,000s, $3,000, somewhere around that range, right? Nothing. But if you want to get rid of that 10% down payment that these lenders are normally requiring, you can play with those numbers. So if their max loan to cost is 70%, if you can buy that property at 60%, you covered the down payment cost that your lender requires of that 10%. But it is hard to find those deals, but you can find them all the time. If you can raise the if you can give a supported comp that that will work in your lender's eyes. Hold on, let me see this right here. If you can give a supported comp that's kind of high and whatever their max loan to cost is, let's say at 70% or 75%, and you times that number by that 70 or 75% minus the repairs, you can still cover the cost of your down payment in there if you can raise the ARV even $5,000, right? If they accept that, then then you can get the cost down. So, but the cost of new construction, man, is, I mean, you definitely want to have at least 30, and then you also have to be able to buy the land. There are lenders out there that are willing to loan on the land, on the lots, and some of them only will finance a percentage of the lot. So that's why I'm saying you're having to come out a lot more money on the new construction side, because even if the lender only gives you 40% of the lot value, they're only going to cover 40%. You're coming out 60% on that. And then you're coming out an additional 30 grand on all the soft cost, or 20 grand on the soft cost and such and such. So how much is the land? Kobe Bean, it depends. I mean, the one that we're about to finish now, the duplex that we're building right now, that's almost finished. That lot only cost us 40,000. You can only build one on it, but it only costs us 40 grand, right? The one that we're going to build two on starting next week is that one costed us 70,000 plus closing costs. So it was like, I don't know, 76,000 or whatever it was. In total, 76, I think it was. And then we had to do all of the soft costs into that, which we haven't got none of that money back yet. So we're, let's call it 100,000 into that lot right now, and we haven't seen none of that money in damn near a year because of our civil guy that we used. But it still pisses me off just thinking about it. But yeah, we're 100 grand into that one, and So we're each around 25, 30,000.
Which is also why, like, if you partner up on those, makes it a little bit easier, I guess.
It does, because we could have bought the lot ourselves, but but if we partnered, and this is why I want to hold this club, is because if we can teach you the game that we play, we bring in more partners. And what that's going to do for us and you is we're going to be able to get into much bigger projects, which in turn make a lot more money. So building 1 or 2 duplexes, we don't get quite the discount on contractors. I mean, there's a lot of different reasons why it's important to just go ahead and bring in. And thanks for the roses, man. That's why it's important to bring in other people and we all need to be able to get along. They have to be, you want to play, and I hope you do, man, because I've been waiting for you.
What's actually pretty neat so far, the way we have it as a team, is it's kind of weird how we kind of fell into who does what, because like 2 of y'all are like the main people, but then like I guess I could call myself the designer, right? And then choosing stuff like that and what goes in it. But then like the other people have their input too. And we all have this, like, we know what lane we stay in, so nobody overrides anybody in any decision. We're all like very good at coming together and making the project happen without butting heads with each other.
Yeah, we don't fight. We don't argue about nothing. We're all easygoing. We just want to get it done, and we don't let it get to us. So everybody that we do bring in, we want to make sure that we're all kind of on that same level.
Yeah. It just makes it easier.
It does.
And then if somebody can't do something, the other person steps in and helps the other person. So it's kind of like, or one of us will say, I can't get to that side of town right now to go get this. Can you go get that? Or can you order that? And that's just how we do it.
Yeah. Yeah. So we all are chipping in and putting our time in. So, and I think that's what we're looking for too. We're just looking for team players, somebody that's not going to bitch and complain about doing this or that, or, if something needs to be done or if something needs to be paid, hey, everybody's just jumping to pay it,
Yeah, when something needs to be paid, he'll like message everybody in the group, and they'll say, hey, today or tomorrow I need X amount of money put into the account.
Yeah.
And everybody does it.
Everybody does it right away. There's nothing. I mean, it's just everything just gets done. I'll bring my 2x4 if they don't listen. Yeah, do that because, we haven't had that yet. But, the more people we bring in, obviously we know what's going to happen. Everybody has different personalities and everything. And we know that some people just don't mesh, and that's okay. They might mesh with other people, but we're all pretty easygoing people. We're very calm. We do this full time, so we're in it for the long haul. We're not going nowhere. But eventually that might happen. We might be calling you up to bring that 2x4. You guys look like nice couples. Yeah, man, we are, man, and we want the best for ourselves. We want the best for everyone else, even our partners. We sometimes do things together, not all the time. We don't want to go overboard, but we all kind of meet up for lunch at some restaurant, or have a drink. Or one time we all went to a hookah place and just kind of sat around, celebrated, for during the daytime. We don't really go out at night. We have a daughter, and we're
pretty low key.
We're pretty low key. We don't go out to clubs and all this other shit, but
partiers, and every now and then we like to have fun, but we're pretty low key. We just think business most of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. But anyways, I'm gonna get off of here. Don't forget, everyone, sign up. Eventbrite, December 3rd, 6:30 p.m. It'll be the first Wednesday of every month. The first one's gonna be actually in my neighborhood clubhouse. It's in Cypress. If you want more information, send me a message that you're interested in coming. It'll be a free event, December 3rd, 6:30 p.m. And I hope to see everybody there. And I'll see you guys later. And thanks for all the likes and everything. Who won the bid the last time on the flips? You and your wife. Oh shit.
Let's talk. Let's just talk about that.
Yeah, no.
No, just a little bit. So, I guess he won.
I did. I did.
But we were toe to toe. Like it was like everything happened at the same exact, almost the same time. We finished the projects the same time. We closed on the projects almost the same time within the week.
Yeah.
He, his house, in my opinion, was a little bit more on the high end, but his closed faster than mine.
I made more money.
He made more money than me.
I stayed under budget more than she did.
Yeah, but we both came out winning. So
we both came out winning, but I still beat her ass, and that's all that's important. So
And I was the realtor on both of them.
Yeah, so. She was a realtor, but maybe one day she'll beat me, but I doubt it.
I have another flip coming up, so.
Yeah. So she's doing a flip starting, I guess, next week or the week after.
Yeah.
So she's going to be in charge of that one and doing that one. So while I'm trying to finish up the other ones. So, but yeah, good question though, man. But I'll see you guys later. Thanks for joining. Good night. Oh man, we got another gift. I got another gift. And this fucking thing right here, man. I don't know what the hell is going on with this thing. I can't get nobody on YouTube. And YouTube is like